Okay, suppose so let's take this import and export data. So uh, uh, there are actually multiple tools for import and export also. So what do you mean by import and export? If you have something Excel with a few records, so suppose there could be custom records or standard objects records also. Yeah, I hope you all know what is the difference of the customer standard. Salesforce always already give you few standard objects like account, opportunity, contact, and lead. Let's say if you get a request to load, let me open this. Hmm. Data import visa. So what does it say is if you want to see for suppose if you want to create any record of account or say opportunity or any custom object you have created, if you want to create any record, let's say X, you have to go to each and every, let me show you a sample here. If you want to, yeah. So as of now, there is no sign. So now if I want to create a new account record, so you need to understand the terms here. So now I'm talking about records. So when I say records, records will be under any object, say suppose standard or customer. So now if someone want to ask you to create a account record, you give any account record, right? So suppose if you Accenture as account, you need to give fill all the mandatory fields or the required fields to get it created. So all this like is like a lengthy process, correct? So instead of this, if someone gives you a list of like it could be like 10, 100 or 1,000 in an Excel and get it created in Salesforce. So what you do? Will you go and create like clicking 100 times this new and creating all this stuff? No. Salesforce also supports to bulk load all the records into the org or the application. So for that, the prerequisites are Salesforce. Your Excel file should be in a .csv file. It cannot be XLSS or any other Excel types. Okay. Again, I repeat, your Excel file should be in the .csv file. So what is that Excel contains? Like mandatory fields, like what is account name, what is account type, or what is the contact to fill under this. So there will be few mandatory fields. When I say mandatory, it is about require fields. So Salesforce only gives you an option while creating the record, like sorry, while creating the field. So you might have noticed a required checkbox. If you click that checkbox, automatically when someone wants to create a record in that particular object, they have to mandatorily fill that um, field. So likewise again, I'm talking about this import, right? So this import uh, is through a plugin called Data Loader. I think there will be a, I will show you. So you know about this setup, all these things, right? In setup is like the heart of an admin. So you need to know. See, so there is an option called Data Loader. So Data Loader, what does it say? It says, yeah. So when we want to, there should be a medium, correct, to load all the CSV files, as I said. Uh, so I was talking about the data loader. So for this data loader to be installed, it is something like a additional plugin Salesforce will give you. So this to install this data loader, there are a few steps you can um, search in your Google also. Google also will give. And very first thing. So there are two websites like help.salesforce or developer.salesforce. Developer will be like in the later stages. So there is an website like this, help.salesforce. So in this, so you'll find any answer regarding your customizations, like not only customizations, also with the um, developer things like Apex also. So I highly recommend you to go through these websites. This is one of the most useful websites. So in this, if you want to how to install data loader, right? See? So I was showing you this website because so to install this data loader, there will be a JPK file you need to first download and run. So that file you'll get it here, installing data loader. And this is the process how we do. So before you install this data loader, you need to get the JPK file here, somewhere. Windows, right? Yeah. So this links will give you direct you to the yeah. This is one of the batch file you need to install before installing this plugin. What Salesforce. So these two are two different things. One, this is where your Salesforce org will provide an application like this is a plugin. So this is an inbuilt with Salesforce. This you can get it installed in your local desktop. And before that, there is a like prerequisites. We need to get the GRE or JPK file downloaded, like similar to like in your mobile applications. Sometimes it will ask for a Java file to install, right? So similarly, this is the like prerequisites you need to download. Okay, what is all about this data loader? As I said, right, this is one of the uh, management data input wizard. This is the way you need to um, um, sorry, upload a few records of any custom object or any standard object into Salesforce. So why we are doing this? Because we cannot go to each sorry that object and click on new for every object and create 100 records, correct? So this we can bulk load this way in Salesforce. Management tool. There are also multiple tools Salesforce supports, like you can refer like Workbench also. So there is something like Workbench. So in this also, you can give the production. So the, very similar to this one, your data loader will be installed. So now very few people are using data loader. They go for the Workbench or any other um, input wizard. So we have to give the sandbox a production environment and give the um, file which needs to be uploaded into Salesforce. Mm, all this is the same. And for this, you need to have few permissions. So when I say permissions, uh, have you come across the modules with profiles and roles in previous Trailhead sessions?
Yes.
Profiles? Yes. So this is, see, these profiles, roles, and this setup, but without these three, you cannot work into Salesforce admin things. Okay, profiles is like hard. So whenever you, even if you suppose, where is the? Do you know about the user creations? How users will be created?
Yes.
Hmm. See, suppose in user creation also we will have profiles there. So without profile, you will not be able to create the user record. Without role, you can a role is not something very mandatory for user record, but without profile, you cannot go ahead and create the user. So why I'm stressing more on the profile is, as I said, like this data import wizard. So this all these permissions will be in from the profiles only. So already Salesforce will give you a few standard profiles. These are something like custom we have created. So if you go to the system administrator, so this is how a profile looks like. So if it is not that, that is a standard data import. Hmm. There is the permission wizard. And for this, you need to have a permission. So this is how the data loader looks like. So you need to map fields. Suppose your Excel contains first name, second last name, and the username, and who is the manager or what is the location. So you could have a different column headers in your Excel. So you have to match with the ones that are matching with your user object. So you cannot like um, misplace the mapping. Mapping should be correct. So you need to give, like in the backdrop, you can see first name. So the CS Reader. So when I say CS Reader, this is like your import file, your Excel file. So your Excel files will have could have different namings, but you need to map with the correct name of that field in that object. So it could be user object, it could be any customer standard object. So mapping unit. So this is all the steps they are giving here. So there's a unit map and start import. So whenever you start importing, records will be um, gradually get created into your application. And at the end, you will have success and error files. So if there are errors to resolve, we have to see what are the validation rules. Have you discussed anything about validation rules on the object?
Yes, we have discussed in hackathon one.
Okay, can someone explain me what is a validation rule on any object?
Okay. So we restrict the user to input the valid data only. If he inputs invalid data, then we throw a error message.
What do you mean by valid data?
Valid data means which refers to the right data. Like if we are inputting in date of birth a future date, then it will show me a error message because that's a invalid data.
That's right. So validation rules are something like you give on the fields, say it is custom object or standard object. So suppose if I put any formula in the validation rule that if you should enter only numerics, and if you type in a text value, then system will not allow you to create that record or edit that record. Yeah, in that case, so this is all about the import wizard. Let me check a bit. Second close. And as I said, I request everyone to go through these two websites like help.salesforce and developer. Maybe you can go in the later stages. So as far as we are limited to admin or customizations, we can go through this. So it will be very clear here. So each and everything it will explain you. So if you have any question on field creation, or if something is blocking you to get the record created, it will give you all the answers. And this is okay.
So if we are importing your data, then it should be in the CSV format.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, and which type of data we can import here?
Any kind of data. See, suppose if you want to, if there is a standard object contact, right? If there are any required fields, you have to must and should put it in your Excel. See, suppose first name and username will be your required field, or if it is a primary contact. So based on your let me check. Any contact object. Oh, wait.
So is it possible to import the user from one sandbox to another?
One sandbox to another. No, this data loader doesn't give you that.
Okay.
So there is another process called refresh the environment. So that is a different topic. So if you want to see, suppose one sandbox has 10 records for account and another has 8 records. If you want to make sure that remaining 2 records also present into another sandbox, this data loader will not support that. So there is a separate process to refresh the sandbox. So refresh is not something very frequently admins or developers do. It will be like once in 6 months or 3 months. People will refresh the data. So refresh is and not a like 1 hour or half an hour work. So it is like it might take, so depending on your data or the volume of data in that sandbox or production environment, it might take like 4 to 5 hours also. And replying to your question, yes, sorry, no, you cannot uh, import records from one sandbox to another sandbox in any production.
Okay.
So as we are speaking on the data input, right? So I wanted to say something on the developer console. So have you heard about this developer console in Salesforce? So this is something like Salesforce will support here, developer console. So if you want to, okay, just before that, I'll tell something. Here you can see, here you can see, have you noticed these reports here?
Yes.
So any idea what does this reports do? Yeah, no problem. Report is something like if someone asks you, your friend or if your boss asks you, pull a report of all the account object, like how many records are there, and he wants like specific 5 fields, like what is the account name, what is the account ID, who is the primary owner, like he gives you 5 fields. If you want to export that from Salesforce, this reports will help you. So we will discuss more into detail. I'm just telling you how does this reports work. Report, as I said, I repeat that if someone asks you or if any business requirement is that to pull few like 10 to 20 or how many, though there is no limit for this report. As many records you want, you can export that from Salesforce. Reports is like export, not import. So far we have discussed it is import. This is export. Reports, this is like you're exporting the data from your org. So why I said this is if you want to um, export any 10 to 20 records from account object, you can do that. Any not account, standard custom, any object also you can do that. So why I said this is suppose if you want to know only one particular field. Suppose what is the any hidden field run account. Suppose there is any X field in the account object. There is one record like Accenture one account, and under that we have an X field. So if someone asks you immediately, can you check what is that X field value in that particular account object? So you don't need to export all. So just simply I said, right, to how do we export all the records from one particular object. You don't need to go and to the report and click a new report, go to the account object and pull all the fields of that record. You can simply put a query, and I believe most of you are very familiar with the SQL query, right? So here Salesforce will give you another plugin. You can assume this is another plugin only. So in this, there is an option like query editor. You can query the circle like select. You're familiar with the circle queries, right? So select star from account where ID equal to suppose XXXX. So and one more thing before that, have you noticed any Okay. So if someone asks you, what is the, I remember there is an account called, the account, then go to the, suppose there is an employee account. So are there any records created for this employee object? Anyone? Rahul, Rohit?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you name one record?
Aman.
Say again?
Aman.
Aman.
AMAN. Yes.
Okay. It's not showing up. Okay. Stop here. Are you sure it is this sandbox you have created, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Now, what if I ask you what is the ID, what is the Salesforce ID of this Aman record? Yeah, just to give a background. So there is so we have created one custom object like employee, and we have created one record in that object like Aman. So now, and yes, all good so far. So we have made few um, uh, fields here. I can see this, and if there are any mandatory fields, you have to fill that. Yes. So, but what if I ask you what is the Salesforce ID of this um, Aman record? So for that, so you can see in the URL there is something here. Okay. So this is the Salesforce ID, and this will be like 18 digits. And just to take a step back, Salesforce supports two types of IDs. One is 15-digit ID, one is 18-digit ID. Till now, if you search this one also, it will give the same result. See? Again, it will take the 3-digit. So this is the 15-digit ID, and this is the 18-digit ID. So what is this? So this is used to a query. Suppose if I want to give the user object, I will say select employee name. Okay, where is the employee? So I'm going to the object for that, and I'm going to what is that? First name. I want first name, last name, and age. Okay. So and I will give the API names. So do you know what is API name? API name is something like this one. So in the UI, people will see like everyone in the interface can see these names, but in the back end, these like double underscore C. These are the API names. And why the double underscore C? Because we can understand that this is a custom field. So we have created not this Salesforce provided one. So now I will see, and if you want to query, you must give the API names only, not the field labels. Okay, where is the first name, right? Now I'll search for first name in the console. This is very similar to your what is that? SQL. Okay, first name and last name. What did I ask? Age, right? It's from what is that object? Employee, right? You have to give the API name, employee, and for only one record. Which is that record? Aman. So you cannot give like just this one as an ID as this one. So I said, right, Salesforce ID means this is the 18-digit ID or 15-digit ID. So previously I said, right, that there was a version called Classic. Classic was supported only 15-digit ID in the URL. But when you export the data, then it will give you 18-digit ID. But just I'm saying you here. In Lightning version, the URL supports only the 18-digit ID, not the 15-digit ID. So now I want what I want: first name and last name and age from this guy, employee, where ID is this one. So you'll execute this. Okay. Why I said all this is you don't need to export again. Like when I say export, again we have to go to the topic. What is that? Reports. You don't need to go to reports and click employee object and take the fields from there. So you can simply, like a quick resolution, you can go to developer console, give the SQL query, and just this where ID is this, and execute that. You got that very instantly. So this is the way you can fetch records instantly using your normal SQL queries. Okay.
So it works on the SQL query.
Say again.
It works on the SQL query.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yep. So this way your developer console will work, and told about the reports also. And going forward, we'll work on the reports like exporting bulk, like if someone wants you 100 records to just pull in once, you can do that. What else do we need to do? And dashboards is also the same way. So when I say reports, that is like dashboards are like visualization. Reports is just like you'll get the Excel files when you export the data from Salesforce by clicking on that report, right? So all this will be in Excel files. But if you want to customize that, so now world is moving into the customizations, right? People don't want to or not interested to see the Excel files. They are much into visualizations. So you can use that dashboard there, and this is the dashboard. You can use bar graphs, pie charts. Everything will be in this dashboard. Yes, this is the way to do it. Okay, guys. So far, any questions?
Okay. Can I delete the field which is provided out of the box? Like in the employee object, when I created the object, then out of the box it provided me a employee name. Like in the personal details, you can see that employee name is provided out of the box.
Where is that?
Scroll
Employee
up.
name.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
given.
provided out of the box. So can I delete it?
I didn't get the question. So you want to delete this Aman name?
Yes. I don't want to use in the page layout, but it is a required field, so I can't remove it.
No. Yeah. If it is in the page load, definitely you need to fill that. Otherwise, yeah, and I'm not sure if this is a required field. If it is a required field, definitely you cannot delete that, and you cannot skip that field. And system will not allow you to get this record created.
But I don't need it. So how can I manage it?
If you don't need it, if you so I didn't get it. So if you don't need it, you don't need that field at all, or if you don't want to see that field on the UI.
Means if anything is possible, both are the
Yeah, both are
recommended.
possible. You can go on to the object manager and delete that field. And if you don't want to see this field in the UI, you just want to make sure that in the page layout it is not there for your profile. And again, said right, when we start talking about page layouts, we have to start talking about profiles also. So page layouts and profiles are very closely related. So if you have a problem, you don't want to see that field on your UI, it is all about your profile. So same may not be applied for your friend's profile, correct? So he wants to see his this field on his UI, then it will apply only for your profile.
Okay. Can you
Correct?
show me
Where
how can I delete?
delete the field. It is very simple, right? You can go to the
Means I have tried, but it is not possible, I think.
I have to see whether that is a standard. You cannot delete standard fields. I have to see whether
Yes, it is out of the box when I have created the object.
okay. Sorry. Here, if you want to already open, right? No? Okay. Employee name. Employee. Oh, this is a standard field. See?
Yes.
Standard fields, no, you cannot delete.
Okay. And I also can't remove from the page layout.
No, definitely. Standard fields, no, nothing you can do.
Okay.
Yeah, it should
Is
be
it,
there on the UI.
is it possible through the coding?
I think no, but I'll come back. I'll come back on this. But no, we cannot change the standard fields. We can just rearrange if you do not want to see this in the top. We can just rearrange, like putting in the top left bottom right corner, but we cannot remove from any profile viewing it. But yes, I'll come back if we can do the coding.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Shrikant, like here in the employee name, it's not a cumulative thing of first name and last name. We need to separately give input for employee name, right?
Yes. So when you create the any employee record, right, we'll see. No. Where is the?
So I'm saying it's just a duplicate effort, right? Means once we are entering the employee name and then again we are entering the first name and last name. So can't
That
it
is
be?
how your fields are created, right? Here. See, you have given the first name, so it is up to
Yeah.
you. So you're saying, why do we need to like concatenate in the employee
Correct.
name?
So my question was that is it possible that we can just add some validation rule or some formulas to, like when we give input for first and last name, and it will automatically generate an employee name there?
Yeah, that is how it works here. So okay, you wanted to give, if you give any first name here and last name there, it should concatenate there. Yes, you can
Yes.
give that. Yeah, you can use a formula field.
No, I don't think so. I have tried it.
Because here in this example, what I can see, first name is Aman and last name is Kumar, but employee name is still showing Aman, so it's not concatenated.
You can
Yeah, sorry.
still give a.
I have tried to change the data type, but it is only showing the data type as a text or it as a auto number.
Okay, I get it. This one you cannot do. Yeah, that's the problem in standard fields. You cannot like even validate. You cannot what is it, bypass any rules for standard fields. Yeah, I get it. Sorry. So you can. That's why you cannot see the edit option also for this. So system
Yes.
automatically takes that first name as its name in the employee name. That is the standard field. Okay. If you ask me through code also, no, we cannot do that. Why? Because it is a system thing. If there is no edit option, definitely you cannot achieve that by coding also.
I think we have the edit option. Go to the field and relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now from here, go to the employee name. From the
Here,
field and relationship. Field and relationship.
field and relationships. Yeah.
Yes. And scroll down.
Employee
Employee
name.
name and in the right. Okay, edit. I've tried it, but it does not show me as a formula field.
See, you can use standard fields as in a formula, but you cannot override the field. You can use them as another while creating a custom field. You can use this standard field as in a formula. That we can do. But if you want to edit, no, this is system behavior. I need to check if we can edit. Because you cannot, like suppose one of you asked, right, why do we need to see the first name again in the employee name? So that we cannot override, even if like here there is no option also to put a formula, correct? This is only like if you want to change the name you can do, but not on the you cannot add any formula.
Okay.
But still I'll
Got it.
confirm. Yeah. I don't think you can rename also. It should throw an error. Why is it? Why is it allowing something? I'll get back. So who asked that? Rohit?
Rahul.
Rahul, yeah. I'll get back to you, Rahul.
Okay.